Hi, my name is Brieuc Lits. I'm the Public Affairs Director at EDANA. EDANA is the association representing the nonwoven industry, and nonwovens are used in many different applications such as baby diapers or wet wipes. And as Public Affairs Director, I lead and I oversee all the advocacy activities towards the European institutions. So that means that we are meeting with policymakers in order to make the voice of the industry heard.
Good morning, my name is Alexander Heusch. I am Regulatory Affairs Manager at EDANA. We are the ears and the eyes of the industry. Our primary mission is to assess the impact of regulations on the businesses and to advise our members how to comply with them.
I enrolled in this program because I had a big presentation to make at the EDANA Sustainability Forum. The event was held in Brussels last November, and the idea is really to present all the sustainability topics to our members, but also to policymakers to show how the industry is going more sustainable. And I had a presentation on public affairs, so my field of expertise, and I had to explain what are the latest policies that might impact the industry. It was really important for me to make a big presentation and to make sure that the audience would understand my message.
In September 2024, EDANA held Outlook, which is a global event, big companies from the hygiene industry. During this event, I was asked to deliver a presentation on regulatory affairs, specifically on the impact of an important piece of legislation that was adopted the year before. Regarding this regulation, we published as EDANA guidelines, and this presentation was the opportunity to advocate for those guidelines and also clearly explain to people present in the room how they can better navigate in this particular EU law.
I would say it's the personalized approach because in my previous experiences, I had the chance to give a lot of presentations already, so I was quite familiar with speaking in public. But with Melanie, I really noticed the things that I could improve. What are the tips that make a good presentation, basically? And so I had the chance to actually develop and to improve my skills in terms of presentation, and I was really impressed by the concrete advice that Melanie gave me.
To me, it was my first presentation in front of such a large audience, so I felt the pressure a lot. What Melanie brought me, it's a structured approach on how to get prepared and therefore feel more confident and don't feel stressed at all. I must say that I did not feel any stress during the presentation, which I was quite surprised. Another thing that I really appreciated was the positive feedback from Melanie, because my biggest fear is to speak in public, and I was never aware about my strengths, and Melanie spotted that and could tell me where I was good and of course where I was bad as well. But it gives you more confidence to have someone telling you this is where you're good and this is where you can actually really perform.
I think it's the flexibility, because obviously Melanie's coaching is excellent when in person, but also the tools that we have access to, and especially the self-study training program, was really helpful in order to focus on the things that you want to improve. If you don't have time on a certain week or a certain month, you can still go back to these courses online and you can really get prepared ahead of a presentation or an important meeting, for instance. So it's really valuable.
I agree with Brieuc. As for me, I had 2 or 3 weeks with Melanie before the presentation, so I was in a rush. The good thing is that I could go on the platform, define what were my priorities, pick up what I needed to focus on first.
Well, at the Sustainability Forum organized by EDANA, we have a clear survey that we send to the audience, and so therefore I had a concrete and clear feedback written black on white, and I was really delighted to see that the audience seemed really engaged with my presentation and the feedback was great.
Well, I received very positive feedback during the event, but most importantly, my general manager 2 weeks after the event, asked me to moderate a session in a future EDANA event. So I can say that, at least for me, it was a positive feedback.
I feel more confident. So in my career, I had the chance to give some presentations, some lectures. So I'm not scared or I don't fear speaking in public. But thanks to the coaching of Melanie, I feel more confident. And I think I can make an impact when I make a presentation instead of just delivering it. I really see the added value of the coaching from Melanie.
Well, I feel way better, especially because on my day-to-day work, I have to interact a lot with our members, with representatives of the industry. In the past, I would feel way more stressed, but now that I had this training and I had the opportunity to implement it live during the event, I feel relieved when I have to interact with my peers in a professional environment. So yeah, this is definitely a good point.
Well, first I would say that it had an impact on the association, because obviously the goal was really to deliver my message during the presentation for which I prepared, and it was successful. And also I was invited to give a presentation at one of our members in Italy in the month of March, so we can see the benefit of a good presentation thanks to Melanie's training.
First, for EDANA, the biggest impact is that we could promote and advocate for the guidelines that we published. Altogether, EDANA, with the help of its members. Publicly speaking should not be part of my job, strictly speaking, but no, this is a new tool that I can perform, and that's really valuable for my career.
I would recommend this program 100%, and not only to people who have a big presentation or people who are scared of speaking in public, but to the whole range of professionals who give presentations, because even for the experienced speakers, Melanie has the right tips in order to improve and make your presentation successful, to make you more convincing and to make you look like at ease on stage, and that's really something important.
I will definitely recommend this coaching program. Besides what Brieuc already said, I think also it is really helpful for people who are not native English speakers, as it is the case for me. And because Melanie, so her personality, the way she speaks, her English language is perfect, so you will learn a lot of things even on this point. It is not only a one-shot for a specific event or a specific presentation. It gives you a toolbox that you can later use every time you need it to get prepared and perform.
I would say the experience was excellent. Everything was really smooth in terms of communicating with Melanie, organizing the sessions. It was very easy. I felt really at ease with Melanie. Melanie is objective, she's truthful, she gives you confidence, but also she points out the things that you can improve.
I must say that the availability of Melanie is also important. Since the training with Melanie started 2 or 3 weeks before the event where I had to deliver the presentation, she came to the office, we interacted online, we exchanged mails, even during holidays, I remember, but that was my choice. So she's there for you, and you can be sure that you can count on her.